Hey, what is going on, y'all? This is Jeff from Geo Rides, and today I'm at First Team Hampton Chevrolet in Hampton, Virginia on Mercury Boulevard. And today I'm gonna be reviewing this 2025 Chevy Tahoe Premier. And I'm gonna tell you why I think this is ideal for families and people who don't wanna purchase a truck, but still want the ability to have a bunch of storage in their vehicle. Stay tuned, let's go. As I mentioned in the open, today I'm at First Team Hampton Chevrolet, and I'm gonna review this 2025 Chevy Tahoe. And let me tell you, I am impressed from the jump. I've been checking these out online and so on and so forth, but to actually see it in person, this validates for me why I almost purchased one of these as a 2024. And we'll also look at the 2024s in comparison as well to kind of tell you what the refresh is of the 2025. Both are great vehicles, but you know, sometimes you just want the newest, right? But if you don't have to have the newest, I'll show you some of the things on a 2024 very briefly. But the main focus of this video is to look at this 2025 and show you everything that it offers. I'm gonna provide you a review, tell you why I think this vehicle is good for families and why it may be good for you. So as I mentioned, I'm here in Virginia, and this is one of the first cold days that we had of the year. It was 32 degrees this morning. I decided to shoot part of this outside, and then the rest I'm gonna shoot in the booth over here after I go around for a little bit to check out the ride quality of the vehicle. But anyway, I'm going to do the exterior. I'm gonna talk about the refreshed exterior, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. I'll put up some B-roll of the exterior and some of the things that were changed. And then I'm also gonna talk about the interior and how much that's changed as well and what that offers you in terms of passengers and so on and so forth. This vehicle can fit up to 7 people comfortably. And I'm 5'9", 5'10" on a good day, I always say. And so I'm going to be able to fit in this vehicle comfortably with no issues. I would venture to say people up to 6 feet will be able to fit in this comfortably with no issues. But anyhow, like I said, we're going to do the exterior, the interior, and then we're going to talk about the engine choices and all those other kinds of things. So let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. So before we head indoors, I've pulled over the 2024 RST. And so these obviously are different trim levels. So the RST is just beneath the Premier, but you'll be able to get a good idea of what you'll be looking at from a 2024 to a 2025. And again, I think either one or a steal, depending on what it is that you want for an SUV, especially a family size SUV. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through and point out some of the differences between the 2024 and the 2025, and then we'll focus exclusively on the 2025 because that's gotten the refresh and changed a few things that we're ready to go over now. So to start with, in terms of the refresh, the headlights have been changed. Basically, the front fascia has pretty much been changed from the 2025 to the 2024. You can tell there's a little bit more detail there. There's LEDs all across the board, and it just looks absolutely fantastic and aggressive. That's what I like about it. And so I'm gonna hop off of this camera here and then get into some of the other changes in the interior and at the rear of the vehicle. And then we'll go ahead and head indoors with the Premier, the 2025, and talk about it as well. All right, so we are currently inside the 2024 Chevy Tahoe RST. And I just want to do a quick show and tell in terms of the interior for the 2024. I'm not going to go into a bunch of detail, but I just want you to be able to see that there is a vast difference between the 2024 and the 2025. And again, Chevy makes a variety of vehicles with a variety of options, and there may be different reasons why you may or may not want to purchase you a 2024 before they're all gone. So it's really something to consider. But let's go ahead and start with the infotainment. And so right here, the infotainment in the 2024 is 10.2. In the 2025s, it is 17.7. And again, I'm going to show you that here in a little bit, so just hang with me. I just want to show you some quick differences really quick. And so your gear shift is different also in the 2024. We'll talk about that in the 2025. Your controls are different. Again, this is the RST trim level, so just think about that when you're looking at vehicles. Here is your dash, okay? And then also you have your function buttons over here, your lane departure, park assist, automatic off for your engine, 360 camera, all those other kinds of things. Those are the same on the 2025, but I just want to point out some of the subtle differences that you're going to see, and you can go back and watch this video again and compare the two. All right? So we're going to go ahead and hop out of the RST, get in the 2025 Premier, and get the rest of this review going. So as we head indoors to do the main part of this review, I wanted to do a practical application of the automatic lift gate. And so you can just hit it on your remote. It goes up and down off the remote, and you can just go ahead and load up whatever it is you need to load up in the back. And again, these are some of the key things that I look for when I'm purchasing a vehicle. And as you can see, this crate fits back there perfectly. That carries my gear, it fits back there perfectly and allows you to be able to store other things. But you can also turn down the third row, which we'll get to here in a little bit. Again, like I said, this vehicle is spacious. It can do everything you want to do. Let's go ahead and head inside. So we are now in the 2025 Premier, Tahoe Premier. And as you can see, coming out of that transition, this vehicle is vastly different. And this matches more of what I would like in terms of tech and so on and so forth. This interior is very welcoming, very well designed, the whole 9 yards. And so as we go over here to go indoors, you get a feel for how this rides, what it looks like as you, navigate where you're going and so on and so forth. And it really rides smooth. It has the ride control. So that bump was absolutely nothing. And so I think this vehicle would be really great for your family in terms of where you're going and what you're doing and so on and so forth. So as things would be, this is the active dealership. They're moving and shaking on a Saturday, making some sales and transactions and stuff here at First Team Hampton Chevrolet. And so the bay isn't available right now. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to shoot some footage just showing me driving it around, getting used to the vehicle, how comfortable it is, the whole 9 yards. Again, that's an independent decision in terms of comfort and so on and so forth. You have to judge that when you drive the vehicle, but I want to give you all the tools when you go into the store or into the dealership to be able to make a good decision based on what you feel, what you see, so on and so forth. And so as you can see right here, right now, this vehicle has upgraded, refreshed tech. Some of the things are the same from the 2024 to the 2025, but some of the things are vastly different. And that's what we're ready to go over right now. The exterior, the interior, and then some of the other features that this vehicle has. I appreciate you hanging with me. Stick with me till the end and we'll finish this up and get you to decide if you would like to purchase this vehicle. All right, so now we're transitioning to talk about the exterior of the vehicle and some of the things that have been refreshed in 2025. Like I said, I think this truck is absolutely gorgeous. I have a 2002 Chevy Tahoe, and I'll put some B-roll up here with 170,000 miles on it. I waited 22 years to buy my high country. And let me tell you, I'm absolutely blown away by this new Tahoe. And I'm telling you, it was in a close running when it comes to what I was going to buy, but I ended up buying my high country truck. But let's go ahead and get into the exterior of the vehicle and talk about some of the upgrades. So right off the top, the lights are different, upgraded for 2025. And you can see the difference between the front on the 2024, I'll put up some B-roll, and the front on the 2025. To me, it just looks more aggressive, a little bit more stylish, if you will. And then it also offers fog lights as well, LED fog lights down there at the bottom. I think that's really nice. So one of the other things I want to talk about, safety features wise, this vehicle is packed full of safety features. And that's exactly what you want for yourself and your family riding around in this vehicle. But you can see right here, you have your front detection right here, your park assist system front detection. So you can see out in the front of your vehicle, how close you're getting to something, all those other kinds of things. But those safety features are packed in all the way around the vehicle. And you can even see that right here on this side view mirror. Again, helping you get into spots, helping you get into locations, the whole 9 yards. These mirrors fold in, so if you're in a tight space in a city or whatever the case may be, you can fold your mirrors in. That way people aren't coming past and banging into them and so on and so forth. You just want to ensure that your vehicle is taken care of over time. And so this vehicle comes with 20-inch rims. This year, they are offering from 20s to 24s in terms of the rim selection available for this trim level of this vehicle. And you can also check the other trim levels as well. And so continuing with the exterior, again, this is the Premier vehicle. You have your LS, your LT, your Z71, your RST, your Premier, and then your High Country. But again, like I said, this is the Premier. But you want to get to the lot, to the dealership, to see what different offerings they have. But moving on, the tail lights are different here. I'll put up some B-roll of the 2024 tail lights as well, so you can see that comparison and be able to make up your mind in terms of what you like better from a stylish point of view. And then you also have your 4-tip exhaust down here at the back. And so that 4-tip exhaust feeds to the 5.3 liter engine that we're going to talk about here up front. And we're also going to talk about the other engine options that are available for this vehicle. And so, like I said, this 2025 Premier has the 5.3 liter V8 engine. And then you also have the choice of a 6.2 liter V8 engine. And you also have another choice of a Duramax inline 6 3.0 liter engine. And again, you have to pick what works for you. You know, if you want diesel because of the mileage and the towing and so on and so forth, go ahead, go for it. Get you a vehicle with that stuff in it. But as you can see, this engine bay is absolutely gorgeous. And these 5.3, and I really like the 6.2 in my high country, but obviously depends on what you need. If you don't need the 6.2, then get you the 5.3. It's all in terms of what you need in terms of specs and so on and so forth. I want to say the 5.3 comes with 350 horsepower, and I'll put the numbers right down here just in case you're curious. And I also put down what the towing capacity is of this Tahoe as well for those family trips, those sporting events, all those other kinds of things. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the exterior, and we're gonna go ahead and hop in the interior and show you the difference between the 2024 and the 2025. One other thing I wanted to mention before we move on to the interior are the color options. There are 6 different color options this year. This is the sterling gray metallic, and to me, this is absolutely stunning. If I was going to purchase a vehicle like this is probably the color I would get. I also like the iridescent pearl tri-coat. It's white. I normally don't purchase white vehicles, but I'm telling you, that paint job is something to see. So go ahead and check it out at your local dealership. All right, so as we make the transition from the exterior to the interior, I'm gonna talk to you about some of the things that I really do like on this 2025 Chevy Tahoe. And we're gonna go from the front to the back. But starting off, I wanna show you this jet black interior with Sky Cool seats. This is called Sky Cool. And as you can see, it really is cool looking. It looks really nice, nice touches all around the interior of the vehicle to include the armrest for the console and everything else. But as we transition into the vehicle, I'm gonna talk about a few different things. And so right here, you have your lock and unlock, and then you also have your seat memory. And basically what this is it sets the seat positions based off of your key fob or when you press the button itself, but mainly the key fob. So when you're getting in the vehicle, it remembers what settings you have for your particular seating position. And that's really good to have when you're sharing a vehicle with somebody or whatever the case may be. You've also got your automatic windows, automatic down for the front and back, and then automatic up for the front. One thing I do wish the Chevy would do is make sure that the back is automatic up. It's not a killer, and I'm sure there's potentially a safety reason behind that, but that is what it is. And then you also have your mirror adjustment. You also have your 10-speaker Bose system, and I'm sorry for the shadows. I'm dealing with the sun a little bit on a couple different things. But anyway, you have your 10-speaker Bose system. Sounds absolutely phenomenal. And what I like in the Tahoe that I don't have in my Silverado is this extra storage right here. This pocket right up here on my Silverado, on my high country, it's just basically, I think it's a complete panel right here versus this right here, which is really nice. You could put, you know, something you need to conveniently place right there, whatever the case may be. And then also you have your storage down here as well. And so you also have storage here on the side, just a lot of opportunity to be able to store things. You have your full sheet adjustment, lumbar, all those other kinds of things, tilt backwards and forwards and so on and so forth. And so as we get into the vehicle, you'll see your control panel here on the left. This comes in 2- and 4-wheel drive. This just so happens to be a 4-wheel drive Chevy Tahoe Premier. You can change the brightness of your display that we're going to turn on here in a little bit. And then also you have your parking and so on and so forth. Just a bunch of options in this particular vehicle. So I'm going to go ahead and close the door to kind of knock down some of the coldness that I got going on. And then we'll go ahead and put it in accessory mode. Actually, we'll go ahead and start it. We'll go ahead and start the truck so that way I can show you some of the features. And as you can see here with the dashboard, it is digital completely across, which is really nice. Digital completely across, and you have a number of ways that this can be set up. I won't go into that. That's really, you know, not the point of this review, but there's different ways you can set that up. And you also see that you have all of your data right across the screen right here. Okay. And so also a change from the 2024 to the 2025, as I mentioned to you, is the 2024 comes with the 10.2 inch screen. This is a 17.7 inch screen that is absolutely phenomenal. And it controls a lot of the features and replaces a lot of the physical buttons down here at the bottom. So that may be something you need to get used to. But as you can see on the menu right here, there's all kinds of things, your audio, your Wi-Fi hotspot, connect to your phone, all of the other controls. There's other settings in here that you can explore and go into. You can do your climate control, but then that's also down here as well. And this is a tri-zone climate control. So you have the front, the middle, and the back that you can control from here, but then also you have controls back in the back as well. And then also you have your volume knob right here. I think that's really cool. You get a visual of what the volume is when you're playing something or doing something. And then your on and off button is right here on top. Again, minimizing the physical buttons in the vehicle. I think this is a really clean look. Obviously, it'll take a little bit of getting used to, but I think it's well worth it in terms of the look and the style that this gives off in the Premier trim level of the Chevy Tahoe. And then you have your steering wheel controls right here. You can control your volume, so on and so forth. One thing I did want to point out is the shifter. The shifter for this year in 2025 is different, and you can see the arrows right there. What you have to do, it's back on the steering column, but what you have to do is you have to pull it towards you, and then you're in neutral. You pull it towards you, and you go down, and you're in drive. You pull it down, you push it up, you're in reverse, and then you push in on the button, and you're back in park. I really like that change versus being here on the console or being here like on the 2024. And I'll put up some B-roll of that real quick. Here on the 2024, I really didn't like that necessarily in terms of the gear shift. But again, maybe it's something to get used to. But my 2002 Tahoe, and I'll put some B-roll up to that as well, my 2002 Tahoe has a gear shift right here, and it's old school. Obviously, it's mechanical. It's not electronic or whatever the case may be. But continuing on with the interior from this position, you've got your console right here. You've got a good amount of space right there on that as well. And also you have your console slide back for additional space. Then there's a hidden drawer here. So if you want to keep some of your valuables or whatever the case may be, like if you're at an amusement park, for example, or whatever the case may be, and you want to keep your valuables hidden, this would be a good way to do it. It's just to go ahead and tuck them away right there. But again, you have a bunch of storage in here for you to utilize. And I'll go ahead and slide that closed. There we go. That's a fancy feature they came up with here this year. You've got two cup holders. You've got some storage right here. You've got USB-C and USB-A right there for charging. And then also other controls here. But it is absolutely an amazing interior, and I really do like it. And so now we're going to transition to the second row with the captain seats. And so now we're getting into the back with the captain seats. You can see the space right here where folks can get into the third row with plenty of seating capability. And as you can see, like I told you, I'm 5'10". And so I am sitting very comfortably. My knees are not into the front seat at all. And I would imagine this is probably about as far back as it goes. So it really allows the ability for a person of decent height to be able to sit back here very comfortably. This seat is very plush. It has an armrest right here that's really comfortable. It goes up and down. And then also you have your temperature control back here, which is really awesome. Now, a feature that is available in this trim level in the Premier are the screens. This one in particular doesn't have it, but you can have the infotainment or entertainment screens on the back of these headrests right here. So that's something that you can look for and come down here to Hampton Chevrolet and they may have one in stock for you. I don't know for sure, but come down and give them a shot, see what happens. But we're gonna go ahead and transition to the third row, seating in the third row. See, I've got a good amount of space back here. And so I'm able to sit comfortably. You can obviously have your kids or a smaller person fit back here. But again, the third row is very comfortable. And so how you get out of the third row is you pull this little tether right here on the side. That collapses down as you see. And then you go ahead and just hit this button and it'll release the back seat. And so you just get up and get out. and we're out of the third row. That's really nice for folks to be able to do that, not to have to go through a whole lot in order to transition from the front to the back, depending on what you've got going on. And so we'll go ahead and look at this third row, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this thing up. And so right here, you see there's buttons on the side here for you to be able to control the third row, to be able to put it up or put it down or whatever it is you need to do based on maybe cargo needs or whatever the case may be. But so I'll go ahead and hit the button. You see that release, and that folds down, automatic. I don't have to do anything, just hit the button. And then it also comes back up as well and bring it back up. Again, it all depends on what it is you need. Go ahead and put the headrest back up. It all depends on what it is you need based on, what you got going on. As you can see, the interior of this vehicle has a lot to offer for the family, for somebody who just wants a nice, sporty, and classy vehicle, because to me, it does both things. But let's go ahead and transition to my final conclusion and my recommendation for you on this vehicle. As you can tell by my review of this vehicle, this 2025 Chevy Tahoe Premier, I absolutely love this vehicle. And had I not purchased my 2024 High Country last year, I would have definitely purchased this Tahoe, but I just have more needs with a truck than I do an SUV. I want to thank the team here at First Team Hampton Chevrolet for allowing me to review this vehicle and show you the different things to help you make a purchase decision between the 2024 and the 2025, or whatever it is that you're looking at and considering, to be able to make a purchase decision based off of some of the things that I showed you here. A couple of weeks ago, I made a video on a 2024 ZR2 Chevy Silverado. I want you to check that video out right here. I want to thank you for watching this video to the end. I want you to like, share, and subscribe. And remember to always ride as if your life depends on it. Peace.